All right, we're back with example 4, applying the laws of deductive reasoning. So what we're going to do is draw a conclusion from the given information. So let's go over this piece right here so we know exactly what they're asking us, okay? So in these next problems, what's going to happen is they're going to be using the law of syllogism, all right? So they're going to give us two conditional statements. They're going to give us the P to Q, and they're going to give us the Q to R. All right. Now, this may sometimes be the first sentence and may be the second, or this may be the first sentence and that may be the second, because remember, sometimes they can be flip-flop. So we always need to be on the lookout for that. All right. But basically, they're going to give us two conditional statements. Then what they're going to do is, like, remember the third is that conjecture. Right? Conjecture, oh, don't have enough room, which is P to R. But when it asks us to draw the conclusion, what they're going to give us, they give us the P, which in this case would be the hypothesis. What we have to determine is the conclusion. The conclusion is the R. Okay, so that's what they're asking us. When they say conclusion, that is what they want. Okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. It says draw a conclusion from the given information. So given, if 2y equals 4, then z equals -1. If x plus 3 equals 12, then 2y equals 4, period, x plus 3 equals 12. Okay, we have to draw a conclusion from the given information. So let's go ahead and figure out, well, what are our P's, what are our Q's, what are R's first? Okay, so we know that if this is our first conditional P to Q, then that means that this has to start our second sentence. Does z equal -1 start our second sentence? No, it doesn't. So then what we want to think about is we want to think about, okay, flopping them. Okay, so that doesn't work. So what if we say that our second sentence is our P to Q statement? So if P, then Q, so we have 2y equals 4, which would mean that this sentence over here would have to start with the 2y equals 4. Does it start? Yes, it does. Okay, so that means that this is going to be our P, this is our Q, this is our Q, and that's our R. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down. If x plus 3 equals 12, then 2y equals 4, and then our R is z equals -1. Okay, so this is the first statement. This is our P to Q, right? This is our second one, which is Q to R. And then after this, what's this? X plus 3. That is our P. Okay, so these are the first two statements that they gave us. This and this. That is here, and that is here. Then what they give us is this is what we're doing. This is the conclusion, draw a conclusion from the given data, okay? But they only give us the P part, which is right here. The conclusion, our answer, is the R, okay? So what we'd have to do is we have to say the conclusion is that if x plus 3 equals 12, then z equals -1. So that's our conclusion, is that z equals -1, and that is our answer. Okay? All right, let's move on to the next one. B. If the sum of the measures of two angles is 180, then the angles are supplementary. If the two angles are supplementary, they are not angles of a triangle. And then it gives us measure of angle A equals 135, and measure of angle B equals 45 degrees. All right, great. So we have to figure out what are we dealing with here. So we have our two conditional statements. If the sum of the measure of two angles is 180, then the angles are supplementary. And then it says if the angles are supplementary. So this is ending. So if, let's say we call this our P and this our Q. Is our Q, is it ending and then beginning with the same information? The angles are supplementary if two angles are supplementary. Okay, so this is Q and this is Q. Great. So that means we know that this is our P, this is our Q, 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 and then this would be our R. So let's say the sum of the measures of two angles equals 180 degrees, then the angles are supplementary. Okay, if the angles are supplementary, they are not angles of a triangle. Okay. They is referring to the two angles. The two angles are not angles of a triangle. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's see. We have the first thing, P to Q, right? The second thing is Q to R. Those are, oh, whoops, sorry about that. I got a little shaky there. Okay, those are our first two sentences. This is our P to Q, and this is our Q to R. Oh, sorry about that. Made it shake again. Okay, so those are our first two. When it asks us to find the conclusion, okay, it's referring to that conjecture statement. They give us the P. So this is the P. And then the conclusion, the answer, the conclusion would be the R. Okay? So, let's look at this. Is this referring to the P? The sum of the measures of two angles equals 180. So they gave us two angles, 135 plus 45. Well, what is 135 plus 45? So 135 plus 45 is equal to 5. That's 10, 7, 8, 180, right? So that's equal. So the sum of the measures of two angles is equal to 180. So that's true, right? So that means that R is the conclusion. The two angles are not angles of a triangle. So the conclusion, the answer that they're looking for is the two angles are not angles of a triangle. Do you guys know why? Fun fact, fun fact, fun fact. Well, for a triangle, you need three angles, right? And all three angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So if this is 135 degrees and this is 45 degrees, when you add this and this, you get 180 degrees. But the degrees of a triangle have to equal 180. So since these were angle hogs and took up the whole 180, there's no degrees left over. So this will never be a triangle, okay? Because you have to have three numbers that add up to 180, and these are just two. So these are just, that's just a, you know, supplementary angles. Those are supplementary angles, but they aren't angles that can be in a triangle. So that's the reason why. Okay, so there we go, that's C. Let's go ahead and look at example 4. It says, if a polygon is a triangle, then it has three sides. If a polygon has three sides, then it is a quadrilateral. Polygon P is a triangle. So we need to draw a conclusion from the given information. So, is this our P to Q statement? If this is our P, if a polygon is a triangle, then it has three sides. That means that this has to start with, it has three sides, or it is a polygon. A polygon has three sides. Does this sentence start with that? A polygon has three sides? If a polygon has three sides, woohoo, it does. Okay, so that means this is our Q. So we have P to Q, Q to R, then it is a quadrilateral. So let's go ahead and write that down. A polygon is a triangle. Then it has three sides. So a polygon has three sides. If a polygon has 3 sides, then it is not a quadrilateral. So a polygon is not a quadrilateral. Okay? So the first sentence needs to be our P to Q statement. The second sentence needs to be our Q to R. And then, okay, so where's that? Yeah, P to Q, Q to R. Those are our first 2 sentences here. So that's our first sentence. This is our second sentence here, which means we're left with this, which is dealing usually with our conjecture, right? But this is our P. A polygon P is in a triangle. Yes, okay, polygon P is a triangle. Polygon P is a triangle. So we have to say the R. Polygon P is not a quadrilateral. That would be our conclusion. So our conclusion is that polygon P is not a quadrilateral. And that's our conclusion. All right, great. So that is it for section chapter 2, lesson 3, deductive reasoning. So like I said, go ahead and feel free to watch these videos multiple times if needed. Just make sure you study this information and get it down, because like I said before, this is definitely information that is new, it is different, it is a little weird, but if you watch it over, watch it a couple times, then you'll get the hang of it and you'll see how it works. All right, so yeah, I will see you again next time. All right, bye.